Hello race fans and welcome back again to the Apex This iRacing League. Here we are with the first round of the CTS-VR series. The guys are here at Summit Point Raceway and they're just wrapping up qualifying and got about maybe just under 5 minutes to go. And we're going to head on down to the track here in a second. Not a bad day out here tonight. 70 degrees air temperature. Winds are only 2 miles an hour. Boy, look at that track temperature, 121 degrees. Good grief. It's going to be interesting to see how these setups hold up under that intense track temperature. We're going to go ahead and go onto the track here and see who's on track here. Looks like there's Lincoln Russell. Currently he's running 7th. His best time is a minute 10.228. In the 6th position there we have Shane Hunter, currently with a minute 10.041. A lot of cars in the server tonight. Well, we're showing almost 30 cars, not quite, maybe like 29 or so. Got a great field tonight. Hope everybody can make it into the server for the race. There's Brandon Miles, currently 18th fastest with a 1:11.135. Catching a little dirt there. Interesting to see these Cadillacs take on the Summit Point Raceway here. There's John Miller. He's currently 9th fastest with a minute 10.254. There's Kent Kruger, currently 20th fastest. Troy Banks, 15th position at the moment. Just under 3 minutes to go. He's doing a 1:10.806 so far. A lot of new names in here tonight. Here's another new driver, Leonard Burke. He's 21st fastest at the moment. Got some good looking paint schemes out here tonight. Not a whole lot of guys on the track right this moment. Pretty much wrapping up. They'd probably put in the times that they want to put in. There's Donald Sibley. He's 23rd fastest at the moment. In 12th position, Eric Kulaga. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. 12th fastest with a minute 10.465. Did he improve that? Let's see. Yes, he did, to a minute 10.233. Now 8th fastest. Trying to move that 66 machine up to the front. And we're less than 45 seconds to go to complete qualifying here. And the server will take its usual maybe about 2 minutes to switch over to the race session. Galuga and a couple other folks. There's Leonard Burke. He's still out. Kent Kruger. They're about the only 3 on the track at the moment, trying to get in a final lap there. And Kruger, he didn't improve that time. It was 1:13.669. And that will, he's getting ready to go back to the pits there. That was the last time lap he would be able to get in. It looks like everybody's now in the pits, and qualifying is done. So now we will we'll move on over to the take the grid here. Wait for guys to come onto the track here. Got an even 30 car field tonight. This will be a rolling start. It's a 30-minute timed event, as they normally do timed events here at Apex This iRacing League. Once everybody gets on the field, and while we're waiting for them to grid up here, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup here. On the pole, we have Nathan McGee, Jordan Johnson second. On row 2, we have Jaron Haslam third. Next to him is Corey Mitchell. And fifth, we have Paul Lindsay and Shane Hunter. Lincoln Russell, 7th position, followed by Eric Kalaga. In 9th, we have Ryan Collins. And rounding out the top 10 is John D. Miller. Then in 11th position, we have Randy Mathis. Brandon Piper's 12th position. 13th, we have Michael Kalaga. Maybe they're brothers here. We have to find that out. And Ty Johnson's 14th. Adam Baltuda's 15th. Troy Banks in 16th position. We have Dustin Burkhalter, 17th. Steven Martinez, 18th. And 19th, we have Brian Miles. 20th position, Joseph Mayer. And 21st position, we have Kent Kruger. Leonard Burke is 22nd. Donald Sibley is 23rd. Braden Ashworth, 24th position. In 25th position, we have Cullen Davis. Bjorn Benches is 26th. Andrew Rasmussen, 27th position. Robert Carroll, 28th. Travis Daly is 29th position. Jason Labaka, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is 30th. And we do have a 31st car, Joe Janicek. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Janicek. I'm going to murder that. I'm going to have to get somebody to let me know how that's pronounced there. And cars are rolling off here. There's your pole sitter Nathan McGee following the pace car. Then make their way around the back of the course here. It's not a fairly large course. It's track length is 1.99 miles, just a hair under 2 miles. Pretty low altitude, only 629 above sea level. They're making their way through this series of S's here on the back section of the course before they hit the long straightaway. Definitely one of your best passing opportunities, but there are a couple of others on the track. This is actually one of them right here, not that long, as you can see. But if you can get a run, you can make a move here. Pace car is coming in. And we're racing here at Summit Point Raceway. McGee followed by Johnson, definitely sticking close to him. Those two have separated themselves just a little bit from the field. We're getting reports now. A couple of cars have gone off. Let's take a look and see. Donald Sibley. Let's go back and see what we can see at the restart here. I mean, at the start of the race. Now, he might have just went off the track. Sometimes when a driver gets in the grass, the system will interpret it as crashing, but that might not have been the case here. Let's see what happens on the start here. If anything, something may have happened down at turn 1. It's a tight pack, but everybody got through pretty good there. Let's take it live again. He's currently running 23rd. Back up with the leaders. McGee still being hounded by Jordan Johnson. Johnson hot on his tail. Had to be somewhat careful with these curbs through these S's. Like I was saying, if he were close enough, he could almost manufacture a quick pass here if he was in the right position. But definitely was not close enough to make a run on the leader there. That Kia machine trying to stay within a half second. He's about 0.6 now from McGee, and almost a second away from Jaron Haslam. No surprise to see Haslam there. McGee continuing to lead. Haslam, he can't get quite close enough to Johnson to make a pass. Now he's over a second ahead of Paul Lindsay, who's running fourth at the moment. Lindsay himself is under a bit of pressure from Corey Mitchell. Oh, and there was somebody in the grass there. I believe that might have been, was that Colin Davis? Let's take a look and see. And he got a little sideways and got it turned around. And yeah, I think he was that car. Here comes the field, and that was the car we saw on the side of the road there, as everybody was on doing the right thing and just stop and wait for the field to go by. Let's take it live once again. He's running 23rd position. Back up towards the front. There's Shane Hunter, currently in running 6th. And he's trying to put some pressure on Mitchell. He's got Eric Kalaga right behind him. Kalaga, he's followed by John Miller in the 8th position, trying to pick up that 7th spot. Looks like Randy Mathis, he just moved, he's into the 9th position, battling with Ryan Collins. Looks like we do have some retirements. Colin Davis, Jason Labaka, Travis Daly, and Joe Janesjet. They all 4 of those are showing retired from the event. So now we have 27 cars on track. We got Martinez into the pits. Looks like he's getting tires. Back up to the front here is Randy Mathis. Oh, got a little sideways coming out of there, and also Ryan Collins. We adjust the timing and scoring there, so the cars you see on the timing tower are the only cars running in the race. Everyone else has retired. Nathan McGee continues to lead. He stretched that lead almost to a second. Now just over a second as he goes into turn 1. And boy, look at Jordan Johnson. He's coming under a bit of pressure now. Jaron Haslam, Paul Lindsay, and Corey Mitchell are all right there. Haslam trying to take a little peek there on the inside. We'll see how close he is down here as we get to the final turn after we come out of these S's. Not close enough to attempt a pass, but he might get a run on him down the front stretch. They both right on the edge as they come down to the line here. We're now on lap 8, 8 minutes into the 30-minute event. Lighten up those brake rotors into turn 1. Paul Lindsay's definitely got his eye on that 3rd position. Less than half a second behind Haslam. Corey Mitchell isn't far behind, less than half a second. And we're showing someone else has turned into the pits here. Looks like it's Robert Carroll. He stopped in for servicing. Oh, he overshot his pit stall there just a little bit. That's going to cost him there a little time. Back to the race, Lincoln Russell there in 13th position. Brandon Piper is 3 seconds down the road from him. Dustin Burkhalter, though, is almost a second and a half behind. That's Piper in 12th position, working on Michael Kulaga. Whoa, Kalago takes that look on the inside, and wow, he kind of put pressure on him, but oh, and then he runs wide himself. He had a good opening there, but as he came around the right-hand turn there, could not make that stick, and he back to 12th position. Actually lost some ground there now to Kalago. 1.2 seconds to be sure. And not far behind is Lincoln Russell. There's 14th position, Dustin Burkhalter. He's followed by the 19 of Adam Baltudis. And P15, 16th position is Troy Banks. He's working on Baltudis at the moment, trying to get that 15th position. Let's look a little further back. Here's Ty Johnson running in 19th position. He's very close to Brian Miles there. Leonard Burke behind him. I believe those are probably like three of the newer drivers. I haven't really seen them around that much. Leonard Burke is following the two of them. He's under a bit of pressure himself from Andrew Rasmussen. Rasmussen looking for a way around. Getting pretty tight back here. Alita McGee, he has checked out from the other front runners a bit, so he's under no pressure. Let's look a little further back in the field. There's Kent Kruger running 23rd. Pretty good cushion between him and the cars ahead and behind. Oh, and there's somebody off track there. Who was that? That was the 7-car Ty Johnson. Got it back on and going. Let's see what happened there. There's Ty coming down. Oh, and he overcooked the entrance to turn 1. Didn't hit anything, though. Did a good job to get it back on the track as soon as possible. Looks like we have another retirement here. Look, Colin Davis, he's out. So now we have 27 cars. Well, actually, Robert Carroll's in the pits. I don't know. We'll wait to see if he's able to make it back out. He's still showing in the race, even though he's in the pits. Steven Martinez, he's ahead of Carroll there in 26th position. And Donald Sibley, he's 7 seconds down the road. that Cheetos machine. And he's quite a ways behind the 24th place of Bjorn Benches. And boy, he's got some traffic in front of him. He's currently chasing Ty Johnson, Kent Gruger. That's almost he's battling for that 23rd position. You could almost say it's a three-way battle for 22nd. They all come out of that final turn. They're rocketing down the front stretch. Further up in the field, there's Andrew Rasmussen having some connection issues there. We can't really lock on to him. Let's go to Adam Baltudis here and see if we can pick him up. He's currently running 15th position. He has Burkhalter 3/10 ahead, and Troy Banks only 2/10 now behind. For 17 minutes, over halfway into this 30-minute event. A little further up in the field, there's Lincoln Russell in 12th position. Very comfortably in 12th. Piper is 4 seconds behind, and Kalaga's 2 seconds ahead. So no pressure for Lincoln at the time at this moment. As far as the rules are concerned, they have it's of course a 30-minute race. They have a 17 incident limit before they're disqualified. Damage is on, of course, and they run open setups. So there's no mandatory pit stops. They probably put enough fuel in the cars to, make it to the end of the race. So probably wouldn't expect to see anybody pitting. And of course, if they did pit, they just most likely stopping for repairs unless they feel they need to get tires. Let's move a little further back up the front here. There's Randy Mathis in 8th position, trying to hold off Erica Kulaga. He's got a ways to go to catch John Miller there. Miller currently running in 7th position. There's a bit of a string of cars in front of him. Shane Hunter, he's trying to catch that group as well. Shane Hunter currently 6th position. And the group he's trying to catch, Paul Lindsay, who's chasing Corey Mitchell, and he's got Haslam and Johnson ahead of him. So Lindsay, he's the 5th of your top 5 there. The field's not spread out quite evenly. There's 2 or 3 little clusters of cars, good battles going on around the track. Oh, and Adam Baltudis is in the pits. And Nathan McGee, he continues to lead. He's opened up a bit more of a gap now on Johnson, 1.4 seconds. coming down a little bit now, a little bit as they come into turn one. And Johnson, he's got his hands full a bit with Jaron Haslam, Mitchell, and Lindsay. Haslam almost within a second. I mean, that's Corey Mitchell right behind. Let's look at their lap times here. He did his best is a minute 10.380 over a second. He was over a second slower though the last lap. Let's see what he did that time. Still over a second. And they may also be because, you know, now the tires are starting to wear because we are definitely, we're 2/3. Oh, and speaking of tires, they gave up on him there just a little bit. He's going to lose a couple of positions. Oh, boy. Both Shane Hunter and John Miller, and they're battling for position. Shane Hunter trying to get around Miller. They were just close enough so that that mistake by Mitchell cost him dearly. Almost half a second behind Mitchell. I'm sorry, Mitchell was almost half a second behind Hunter, though. If we were to look back at Mitchell, let's see here. Corey Mitchell, there he is. He's only a tenth behind Shane Hunter. He may be looking to get back by him. Oh, Hunter, dog race, dog fight there in the last turn. Kind of, I was going to say drag race, and here we go down to turn one. But Mitchell, he does beat him to the corner there. Let's see if Hunter can fight his way back. Mitchell's already half a second ahead. This is an interesting turn here because you can get this wrong. Mitchell there looked like he about had a moment. And Shane Hunter popped out there a little bit, made a little bit of a connection issue. I want to say hi to the folks in the chat. Let's see. Life is a challenge. I think they're wondering, is this the same league? Yes, it is indeed the same league. They've just had an influx of new drivers coming in. And as you can see, there's several new names there. And I believe one of them is your leader, Nathan McGee. And he's got one of the heavy hitters behind him, Jordan Johnson. And he's definitely giving them all he can handle there. Johnson trying to maintain that 1 second gap and not fall too much further behind. And then, of course, Jaron Haslam, very strong driver for the league, currently running in third position. Here they are rocketing down to turn one. You can see the gap. Now look at the gap that they've opened up on the rest of the runners there. John Miller, wow, he's almost 3 seconds behind. The top three here have definitely checked out. And even they have a bit of a gap between them here. McGee is definitely proving to be one tough nut to crack. Johnson's trying, and you know Haslam's trying. They're actually closer to battling each other than they are to catching the leader. In fact, they're just about an equal distance apart. Let's look at them from above here and watch them as they come out of the trees here. Getting ready to come down that front stretch. There's your leader in front, followed by Haslam, Johnson and Haslam. See, that's Haslam, and there's Johnson. And then all the way up there is Nathan McGee. So, yeah, he's got a little bit of a gap now on P2 and P3. Uh-oh, looks like Johnson might have had a little bit of a moment coming there through turn one. Still maintains over half-second gap to Jaron Haslam. Let's look a little further back to John Miller. He's got company behind him. Former Corey Mitchell, Shane Hunter, and Paul Lindsay. Nice battles all throughout the top 10 here. Mitchell trying to find some traction to catch that 55 car. And Corey Mitchell, we saw him. He had a strong season in the C7 DP cars last season. Woo, getting close to that dirt, but managed to keep it on the track. Behind Mitchell is Shane Hunter. He's followed closely by Paul Lindsay. And after Paul Lindsay, there's a bit more of a gap. You see behind there, a bit more of a gap there to Randy Mathis. We're feathering that throttle through those S's. Now these four are remaining pretty tight through here. Almost like a four-way battle for fourth place. Making their way onto the front stretch. Miller continues to lead them. And they all seem to be running very equal pace. Nobody can really get an advantage on the other driver. And I mean, they're all pushing hard. You saw Miller kick up a little dirt there coming out of that left-hander. And they're all right on the limit. Let's look at Miller here. Let's McGee. He's still he's comfortably in the lead, so we're gonna follow these guys for a minute here. Let's look at their lap time history here. Oops. And now this is between Mitchell and Miller here. Mitchell, he was faster on lap 22 and 23, but John Miller, has the faster of the majority of laps here. And now lap 26, Miller was quicker the last two times, but not by much. At most 0.05 of a second. Very, very close in times. If you compare Miller to Haslam, a little bit more of a gap there. Now they've broken away. Paul Lindsay, he's behind Mitchell there. Him and Shane Hunter, they've gotten a little bit separated, and Lindsay, he's lost a little bit of time to Mitchell, trying to catch up. Oh wow, time flies when you're having fun. We're already to the end, and yes, so there it is, your winner, Nathan McGee. Wow, you get so caught up watching all these battles around the track, man. I tell you, time flies when you're having fun. But congratulations to Nathan McGee, winner of round 1 here in the CTS-VR series. And I'm thinking they're probably telling them to pull up to the start-finish line so they can pose for the podium picture there. That's Burkhalter. He's at least 1 lap down. He's slowing down for the leaders to get ahead there. And looks like they may stop right there. And they're stopped there 1, 2, and 3. And since they parked it there, let's go ahead and take a look at your results here. Here we have Nathan McGee, your winner, Jordan Johnson second, Jaron Haslam third, John Miller fourth, Corey Mitchell 5th position. 6th we have Paul Lindsay, Shane Hunter 7th, Randy Mathis 8th, Eric Kalaga 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is Michael Kalaga. In the 11th, we have Ryan Collins, Lincoln Russell in the 12th position. 13th, we have Brandon Piper, Troy Banks, 14th position. Andrew Rasmussen is 15th, followed by Joseph Mayer in 16th position. Braden Ashworth, 17th, and Ty Johnson, he's 18th position. In 19th position, we have Brian Miles. 20th, we have Leonard Burke. In 21st, we have Kent Kruger. Dustin Burkhalter is 22nd. Steven Martinez, 23rd. And 24th, we have Donald Sibley, followed by Bjorn Bench's 25th position. Adam Baltudis, 26th. In 27th, we have Robert Carroll, followed by Colin Davis in the 28th position. 29th position, Travis Daly, followed by Jason Labaka, and rounding out the field, Joe Janicek. And as always, thank you for joining the Apex This iRacing League, and I hope you enjoyed round 1 of the CTS VR series. And they will be back here next Wednesday to get after it again. For all of us at Rice Motorsports TV, we want to wish you a pleasant evening.